welcome. This episode is going to be about hit points and saving throws. So, before we jump into it, I gave our training character, tutorial character, a name. Kind of figured we'd give him some life, instead of just being a human fighter or a fighter. So let me shrink this down here and show you the character sheet. I decided to name him Logan Jair. Just entered it right there. I'm going to save that. So with that, let's give Logan Jair some hit points. Switch on over here, which is right here. Hit points. But we're going to switch on over to our Roll20 application here so we can get some hit dice. Now, what are hit points? Hit points are a number that represents your health or an object's health or the monster's health or the other creatures, the NPCs. It's our health. Without these, well, you're dead. It's that simple. If you hit 0 hit points, you are able to make one move or one attack, and then you pass out and you go to -1. Between -1 and -10, you are unconscious, unable to control your character. You don't get to do it, except for make a fortitude save to try to stabilize yourself, which we'll get into that when we get to the saving throws. But for this, every round you make a saving throw to try to stabilize yourself, otherwise you go -2, -3, -4, and so on and so forth until -10, where you are fully dead, cannot be resurrected. Not a priest from Paylor can bring you back. Paylor himself might be able to, but he's kind of a douche, so maybe not. But you're dead, gone, complete, make a new character. So with hit points, let's give Logan some hit points so that doesn't happen to him. So at first level, your hit points are max. Every class has its own hit die, and the hit die are what you would roll to get your health. In this case, the hit die for Logan is a D10. There. The D10 here. I'm just going to roll it just so you can see. And hey, look at that. We actually get 10, the max hit points that you would actually get at level 1. So level 1, you don't actually roll. You automatically get the maximum hit points. So being a 10-sided die, you get the 10 points. But then, you also add the Constitution modifier to your hit points. So we have the +1, so therefore his health is going to be an 11. Now, if, let's say, Logan was to level, he got to level 2. Well, we have 11 hit points, and what we would want to do is we would want to roll another D10. It would be 1 D10, and then we want to add the Constitution modifier to whatever number we get. So I'm going to set the advanced roller here up to 1, roll 1, 10-sided dice, and add 1. And now whatever I get here, we would add to the 11. So 9. So we would have 20 health at level 2 once we got to level 2. But since we're not there yet, we're level 1, he has the 11 hit points. So hit points, you get them from what's called a hit die. The hit die is that 10-sided die for the fighter. Now hit die, they can measure the relative power that is the same as the character's level for things such as spells, magic items, and magical effects that can affect certain hit dice of creatures. So that's the gist of hit dice. First level, you always get max health. You take the whatever hit dice you are for your class, fighters for this sake. is a 10-sided dice. You get 10 plus your Constitution modifier, and that's what your max health is starting at level 1. So moving on, we have saving throws. Now saving throws, you have 3 of them. You have Fortitude save, Reflex save, and Will save. Now they're right here on the character sheet, which is right below your ability scores. Your ability scores, 3 of the ability scores do match up with your reflex saves. I'm sorry, your saving throws. Reflex save is one of them. Your saving throws. Now, on page 39 in table 3-9 of the player's handbook, you have the fighter's chart. So their table. Every class has their own base saves for saving throws. And since we're looking at fighters, we're going to look here at the fighter. Now you can see we have Fortitude save, Ref save, and Will save. It's Fortitude, Reflex, Will. So now we have the +2 to Fortitude save, 0 to Reflex save, and 0 to Will save at first level. So what we're going to do real quick, before we add them all into our character sheet and everything like that, I'm gonna give you little details about what each one is. Okay, so your Fortitude save is related to your Constitution modifier, just like your health. So you add your Constitution modifier in the ability section, just like we have here. Mythweaver's automatically entered these in for us in correlation with where the modifier of the ability is. So you get the +1 Constitution modifier added to the Fortitude save for Logan. Now Fortitude save, the actual definition is these saves measure your ability to stand up to physical punishment or attacks against your vitality or health. Apply your Constitution modifier to your Fortitude saving throws, like I just said. An example of when you would roll this save, the Fortitude save, is in, let's say, a goblin shoots an arrow that's poisoned and it pierces you. You, 1, take the damage from the arrow, but 2, you roll a Fortitude save to see if you can resist the poison. If you can resist the poison, you're good. Now, to tie in with what we previously said, with your being -1 health, and then every round of combat, which we'll get into combat rounds later in a combat tutorial, you have to make another Fortitude save to stabilize, so you don't go dead. Well, you would roll this save, this Fortitude save, and then there's a difficulty challenging, or DC we call it, that you have to fight against. It's versus that DC. You have to roll your Fortitude save higher than that DC. Again, it might be complicated, it might be confusing, but it'll become a lot more clear in future tutorials when we get more into depth into that stuff, especially the combat section. So don't worry if you're a little lost or whatnot, it's completely fine. So your Fortitude save is physical. Then you have your Reflex save. Now your Reflex save, these saves test your ability to dodge dodge area attacks. Apply your Dexterity modifier to your Reflex saves. A nice example of this one is if you spring a trap, you have to do a Reflex save to try to avoid the poison arrows that are coming out of the wall towards you. If a wizard throws a fireball and it blasts and it's a 20-foot radius, when it explodes, you do a Reflex save to see if you take half damage, or if you fail the save, you take full damage. Again, that'll be more magic stuff, complicated, more the complicated sides of the mechanics of the game in the combat and magic. But those are just examples of why you would make a Reflex save. Will save is the saves reflect a resistance for mental influence, as also a resistance to some magical effects, such as sleep. If somebody casts the spell Sleep on you, you want to make a Will save to see if you actually fall asleep or not. Charming, if somebody does a spell to try to charm you and make you fight for them instead of fight with your party, so now you're attacking your party, they will roll, they'll cast their spell, and you will roll a will save to see if you become charmed or if you're mentally strong enough to resist it. So we'll go through that. Your fortitude save is connected to your constitution modifier. Your reflex save is connected to your dexterity modifier, and your will save is connected to your wisdom modifier. So now let's go ahead, let's pull that book back up. And we have the fortitude save, reflex save, and the will save, and it's 200. So we're gonna, in the character sheet, under the base column of fortitude, we're gonna type 2 for the base of fortitude, 0 for the base of reflex, and 0 for the base of will. And that gives us our saving throws. Now, we're actually going to go one step further in this tutorial, since right here in the book on this chart, we already have it right there. And we're going to talk about the base attack bonus. Now, the base attack bonus is, well, just that. It's your base number you use to make an attack to see if you hit the enemy. Or a friend if they piss you off. It could be anything. You could punch a wall. You might have some anger issues with that, though. But you could be a half-orc. So, base attack bonus, which we have right below saving throws. The base attack bonus for a fighter, and again, every class has their own sets of base attack bonus, of saving throws, of that kind of stuff. You just got to go to the class section in the book, look up their table, read their descriptions, and go off of them. For this sake, Logan's a fighter. So he's got a base attack bonus of 1. I'm going to enter that in here in the base attack bonus. We're just going to enter 1. Mythweaves automatically enters it on the second row. The reason why there are 2 of them, as you can see, it says melee and it says range. That's because there are 2 base attacks. There are 2 main types of attacks. Ranged, melee. Melee is swords, axes, daggers, staves, all that kind of stuff. Ranged, bows, crossbows, slings, darts, javelins, those kind of things. Throwing a rock even. And some spells. So we add the base attack bonus to our character sheet. And then what we get is a total attack bonus. How we get that is we're going to add, for melee attacks, we're going to add your strength modifier. Because when you swing that sword, it's going to, you know, put your strength into it just and to see if you could hit easier. Which for Logan is a +3. So you notice the strength modifier. Let me pop that down. The strength modifier here is a 3 in here. And then dexterity is ranged. So strength is based off, is with melee, and dexterity is with ranged. And now, then they total up, and we get a 4 melee and a 3 ranged. So now I'm going to come over here back to roll 20, and we're going to set up a 1d20 plus 4 for melee. And we're going to roll this. So I would roll this to see if, oh, and I got a critical. Potential critical. Get into that in the future. To see if I hit. And then you go opposed to their armor class, which armor class we'll get into when we get into our equipment. So you'll have a 24 to see if you hit higher than what their armor class is. Again, this might be a little confusing, but as we go, everything will start to come together and compile together. And if you don't remember something, you can always rewatch these. So that's your base attack bonus, and giving you your total attack bonus of the melee and the ranged. So with that, we covered the hit points, gave Logan life, gave Logan a name. We covered saving throws. So now Logan can roll to see if he can fight poison. He can roll to try to avoid that trap he just triggered. He can roll to see if he falls asleep from that wizard who wants to put him asleep so he can't get decapitated. And then we added the ability to be able to attack. You know, he can now, well, he doesn't have any weapons, so I guess he can punch something. So those are the 3 topics for today. I hope this was helpful. And remember to like, subscribe, and share. And as I said, tell your friends so they can learn with you. As always, have a great day, evening, night, whatever time it is by you, and I'll see you next time.